יזכור עם ישראל את בניו ובנותיו, הנאמנים והאמיצים, חיילי צבא הגנה לישראל, וכל לוחמי המחתרות וחטיבות הלוחמים במערכות העם, ואנשי קהילות המודיעין, הביטחון, המשטרה ושירות בתי הסוהר, אשר חירפו נפשם במלחמה על תקומת ישראל, וכל מי שנרצחו בארץ ומחוצה לה בידי מרצחים מארגוני הטרור. יזכור ישראל ויתברך בזרעו ויאבל על זיו העלומים, וחמדת הגבורה וקדושת הרצון ומסירות הנפש של הנספים במערכת הכבדה. יהיו חללי מערכות ישראל עטורי הניצחון, חתומים בלב ישראל לדור דור.
Welcome to Ann Arbor Jewish Community Communal Yom Hazikaron, Israel Memorial Service Ceremony. Yom Hazikaron commemorates all the soldiers, security personnel, civilians, and partisans who fell defending Israel and the Jewish Yishuv settlement in Eretz Israel prior to the foundation of the state, and all of those murdered in terror attacks in Israel and outside of it. Today we commemorate 30,646 dead since 1851, among them 25,420 fallen soldiers and other security personnel, and 5,226 civilians. That is 398 more than we commemorated last year, here on this bima, and 3 more than what is printed on your handouts, prepared 3 days ago. Please rise for a moment of silence in their honor.
That's the other shofar. Please rise for El Maleh. El Maleh Rachamim, Shochen Ba'ameromim, Hamtzei Menucha Nechona, Al Kanfesh Hashchina, B'ma'alot Kedoshim, Utehorim, Vegiborim, Kezohar Harakia, Mazirim, V'nishmot Kol Achinu V'achotenu, HaKedoshim, Anashim, Nashim V'tav, Zekenim im ne'arim, Shenirtzachu be'artzenu, Al Kiddush HaShem, בידי מרצחים, ארגוני הטרור, יימח שמם לעד, וזכרם לדיראון עולם. בעבור שאנו מתפללים, לעילוי נשמתם. לכן בעל הרחמים יסתירם בסתר כנפיו לעולמים, ויצור ביצור החיים את נשמתם, אדוני הוא נחלתם. בגן עדן תהא מנוחתם, וינוחו בשלום על משכבם, ויעמדו לגורלם לקץ הימין, ונאמר Amen. Merciful God, who dwells above, provide a sure rest on the wings of the divine presence amongst the holy and pure and heroic, who shine as brightly as the sky, to the souls of the soldiers of the Israel Defense Forces and the underground fighters who fell in Israel's wars, and all the fighters in the nation's battles who gave their lives to die for the sanctity of Adonai, who, with the help of the God of Israel's battles, brought about the establishment of the nation and the state and the reclamation of the land and the city of God, and all those who were murdered in the land and outside of it by the murderers of the terrorist groups. Will you read with me the next paragraph? Hence, the merciful one will shade them forever in his wings and will bind them in the bundle of life. The Lord is their inheritance, the Garden of Eden their resting place, and they will rest in peace on above their beds, and they will receive their reward at the end of days. So let us say, Amen. We may be seated.
Lamnatseach Mizmer LeDavid, Yancha Adonai b'yem tzara Yisagevcha Shem Elehei Yaakov, Yishlach Ezrecha Mekodesh U'Metzion Yisadeka, Yizker Kol Min Chesecha Ve'elascha Yidash Nasela, Yitin L'chal Chulvavecha V'chol Atzascha Yimali, Niranina B'Shuasecha V'Shem Eloheinu Nigdku, Yimali Adonai Kol Mishalesecha, Ata Yadaiti Ki Yeshia Adonai Meshichai, Yaneu Mishmei Kachay Bigvuris Yesha Yeminai Eila Verechev Ve'ela Basusim Banachnu B'Shem Adonai Eloheinu Naskir Hema Karv V'Nafalo Banachnu Kamnu V'Nesaydad Adonai Yeshia Hamelech Yanenu V'Yem Karenu.
Emma.
Eli, Eli, shelo yikamel leolam, hachol ve'hayam, rishru shel hamayim, berak hashamayim, tfilat ha'adam, hachol ve'hayam, rishru shel hamayim, berak hashamayim, tfilat ha'adam. O Lord, my God, I pray that these things never end, the sand and the sea, the rush of the waters, the crash of the heavens, the prayer of the heart, Hachol v'chayam, Rishru shel hamayim, Berak hashamayim, Tfilat ha'adam.
Us Jews live within an endless intergenerational grief. בכל דור ודור עומדים עלינו לכלותנו is not a metaphor. Yet in every generation, we struggle and survive and inherit the memories, the skills, and resilience that allowed us to survive to our offsprings. The Gaza envelope, known horrors from its mere beginning. Some kibbutzim were founded by Holocaust survivors. During the War of Independence, they were attacked by the Egyptian army. During the 1950s, by the Fadain. And all along Israel's history, they were located in Israel's periphery and under constant attacks. Yet, the worst came on October 7th. I invite Shifra Epstein to present her perspective on the intergenerational grief through Moshe Dayan's funeral oration on Ro'i Rothenberg, who was murdered in Nir Oz, 1956. Following her, a commemoration for the Bibas family, the murdered residents of Nir Oz, 2023. את רוצה שאני אקריא את? I told you there is, I can't, if you want, I can read it. I can read it in Hebrew, and then you give yours.
And then there is translation in English.
Yes.
Okay, so you read it. So please, I must say this thing about Roy Rothenberg funeral oration by Moshe Dayan.
אתמול עם בוקר נרצח רועי. בואי, שפרה.
We are missing, but if you want, you can just look on YouTube at home, all this oration, and with Dayan, you can listen to it. I don't know, we have some difficulties here, so we were unable to present it before you, but you can follow, so...
אני מתחיל לקרוא?
Yeah, you don't have to, אתה רוצה לעשות את הכל, או...
אני יכול להתחיל.
Yeah, okay. So you can follow the translation of Moshe Dayan, 1956. Remember, in Nachal Oz, the same. He gave the presentation in Nachal Oz, where it was so badly hit during.
אוקיי, אפשר, אני אקריא. אתמול עם בוקר נרצח רועי. השקט של בוקר האביב סנוורו, ולא ראה את העורבים לנפשו על קו התלם. לא מהערבים אשר בעזה, כי אם מעצמנו נבקש את דמו של רועי. איך עצמנו עינינו מלהסתכל נכוחה בגורלנו, מלראות את ייעוד דורנו במלוא אכזריותו. הנשכח מאיתנו כקבוצת נערים זו היושבת בנחל עוז, נושאת על כתפיה את שערי עזה הכבדים, שערים אשר מעברם מצטופפים מאות אלפי עיניים וידיים המתפללות לחולשתנו כי תבוא, כדי שיוכלו לקוראנו לגזרים. השכחנו זאת? הן אנו יודעים כי על מנת שתגווה התקווה להשמידנו, חייבים אנו להיות בוקר וערב מזוינים וערוכים.
This is probably the most famous speech that was ever given in Israel by any kind of politician or officers. And it was delivered by Moshe Dayan, who came to Nachal Oz to participate in a wedding of 4 young people. But then Roy, the young man that was in charge of security was killed, and instead there was a wedding, but he also gave his a speech. And again, I rediscovered this speech again, the second day maybe of after the attack in Nachal Oz. I've heard it many times before, but I never came to me. And it has a very big impact on me. And I actually wrote an article about it in Washington Jewish News, so you can all go and read them. But again, here, the sad story is that Moshe Dayan, who is so famous and so admired, really told the people of Gaza, of Nachal Oz, we have to be prepared. That's what we have to do. He understood already that he said the people in Gaza, they are the Bedouin or they are here, they want to get rid of us, and we need to be prepared. That's what he said, you be prepared. And unfortunately, in a number of times in the history of Israel, we were not prepared. And we were not prepared also in the last war. So, as much as I admire Dayan, he didn't do much, besides telling the people, be aware. He didn't advance peace. He didn't try to make peace with other countries. He never preached for bringing together, the West Bank and Israel. So I still blame him for not giving the road to making some sort of peace. And I like just to finish by saying that I like to devote my speech to my sister's son-in-law, Be'eri Mart, whose father, Zalman Mart, was the one who saved Dayan in Syria in 1941. Dayan was there, it was part of the British Army or other, and he was hit and he lost his eyesight, and Mart took him to Haifa and he was saved. But then in 1967, Be'eri Mart was killed in the war. So here we see how circle of life in Israel is going on, but I just wanted to say as a memorial for him. Thank you. Sorry. One, reading this, listening to this piece made me interested in translating it to Yiddish. So I'm in the midst of translating the piece to Yiddish, and it will be dedicated to more than 550 Holocaust survivors who are still living in Otef Aza. So when I finish it, I'll dedicate it to them. Thank you.
Yarden Bibas eulogy to Shira, Kfir, and Ariel. I remember the first time I said mi amor to you. It was the very beginning of our relationship. You told me to only call you that if I was certain I loved you, not to say it carelessly. I didn't say it then because I didn't want you to think I was rushing to say I love you. Shiri, I'll confess to you now that I already loved you back then when I said mi amor. Shiri, I love you and will always love you. Shiri, you are everything to me. You're the best wife and mother there could be. Shiri, you're my best friend. Mish, who will help me make decisions now? How am I supposed to make decisions without you? Do Do you remember our last decision together? In the safe room, I asked if we should fight or surrender. You said fight, so I fought. Shiri, I'm sorry I couldn't protect you all. If only I had known what would happen, I wouldn't have fired. I think about everything we went through together. There are so many beautiful memories. I remember Ariel and Kfir's birth. I remember the days we would sit at home or in a cafe, just the two of us, talking for hours about everything under the sun. It was wonderful. I miss those times deeply. Your presence is profoundly missed. I want to tell you about everything that's happening in the world and here in Israel. Shiri, everyone knows and loves us. You can't imagine how surreal all this sadness, all this madness is. Shiri, people tell me they'll always be by my side, but they're not you. So please stay close to me and don't go far. Shiri, this is the closest I've been to you since October 7, and I can't kiss or hug you, and it's breaking me. Shiri, please watch over me, protect me from bad decision, shield me from harmful things, and protect me from myself. Guard me so I don't sink into darkness. Mishmish, I love you. Chuki, Ariel, you made me a father. You transformed us into a family. You taught me what truly matters in life and about responsibility. The day you were born, I matured instantly because of you. You taught me so much about myself, and I want to thank you. So thank you, my beloved. Ariel, I hope you're not angry with me for failing to protect you properly and for not being there for you. I hope you know I thought about you every day, every minute. I hope you're enjoying paradise. I'm sure you're making all the angels laugh with your silly jokes and impressions. I hope there are plenty of butterflies for you to watch, just like you did during our picnics. Chuki, be careful when you climb down from your cloud not to step on Tony. Teach Kfir all your impressions and make everyone laugh up there. Ariel, I love you, the most in the world, always in the world, just as you used to tell us. Pupik, Kfir, I didn't think our family could be more perfect, and then you came and made us even more perfect. I remember your birth. I remember during the delivery when the midwife suddenly stopped everything. We were frightened and thought something was wrong, but it was just to tell us we had another redhead. Mom and I laughed and rejoiced. You brought more light and happiness to our little home. You came with your sweet, captivating laugh and smile, and I was instantly hooked. It was impossible not to nibble on you all the time. Kfir, I'm sorry I didn't protect you better, but I need you to know that I love you deeply and miss you terribly. I miss nibbling on you and hearing your laughter. I miss our morning games when Mom would ask me to watch you before I went to work. I cherish those little moments so much, and I miss them now more than ever. Kfir, I love you the most in the world, always in the world. I have so many more things to tell you all, but I'll save them to when we're alone.
שיר לשירה, לזכר שירי אריאל וכפיר ביבס זכרם לברכה, וכל המשפחות וכל הילדים שאיבדו את חייהם במלחמות ישראל. In commemoration of Shiri Bivas, Ariel and Kfir Bivas, of blessed memories, and all the families that lost their lives in Israeli wars. אני שומעת כל העולם מקשיב למלמולך. דברים על אח שלי, אני יודעת שלא תמיד יקשיבו לקולך. דברו שפתיים יחפות, דברו עיניים, כל עוד חלב נוטף מחיוכך. חבקי את כל פחדיי בשתי ידייך, חבקי דובים גדולים מתוך שנתך. עולם חדש וטוב אני אתן לך, כבר במבט כחול את מגלה כמה חשוב לראות פתאום חצי ירח קורץ צהוב צהוב מתוך האפלה. תהי קטנה מאומה, לא יפגע בך סיכת ברבר קשורה בשערך. תהי קטנה מאומה, לא יברח לך, אני אהיה גדולה גם בשבילך. דברו שפתיים יחפות, דברו עיניים, כל עוד חלב נוטף מחיוכך. חבקי את כל פחדיי בשתי ידייך, חבקי דובים גדולים מתוך שנתך. עולם חדש וטוב אני אתן לך, כבר במבט כחול את מגלה כמה חשוב לראות פתאום חצי ירח קורץ צהוב צהוב מתוך האפלה. עולם חדש וטוב אני אתן לך, כבר במבט כחול את מגלה כמה חשוב לראות פתאום חצי ירח קורץ צהוב צהוב מתוך האפלה.
I am deeply honored to introduce our special guests tonight, Captain Alam, an infantry officer from the Nachal Brigade, who courageously and thoughtfully led his troops into Gaza Strip and fought 7 months and through 7 months of intense fighting. Lieutenant Colonel Dar, an artillery officer who rushed out of his home with empty hands to his base on the morning of October 7 and rescued 54 survivors of the Nova Festival using a private car and random fighting equipment. Staff Sergeant Shai, who rushed on October 7 to volunteer to reserve service. They all lost loved ones and are here to commemorate them. Alam.
Good evening, everyone. First of all, thank you for having us here. As he said, my name is Alam. I'm a company leader in Nachal Brigade. I came here all the way from Marar city. It's a Druze city from the northern part of Israel. And in the past 2 years, we have lost a lot of friends and family members. And today I want to honor three of them which we lost in the past 2 years from October 7th. It's Yoad Pe'er, Nael Fawarse, and Sufyan Darash. Three of them were my friends. Yoad Pe'er, he was my soldier back in Nahal Brigade. Yoad Pe'er lived in Jerusalem, Yerushalayim, joined the army in the November 2020 and served in the Nahal Brigade under my command. Yoad was known for his smile and good vibes that he brings to the environment he's part of. He was always a happy person who smiles all the time. I had the honor to be his squad commander back in 2021 at the training base and to be his friend at the operational base. Yoad finished his military service in August 2023, which was 2 months before October 7th, and started his journey like every other young adult after the military service. He traveled the world and partied with his friend and family and started preparing for university and his next chapter in life. In October 7th, he was at the Nova Festival with his friends when the attack started. He and his friends entered a missile shelter, which was near the Nova Festival, but the Hamas terrorists got to the missile shelters before the security forces got there, and they started shooting and killing everyone who was in there. Sorry. There actually was a female friend of Yoad, which was with him at that moment, and she survived because of him. She tells that he covered her with his body. He was a big guy. She was a small woman, which Yoad threw himself at her to keep her safe from all the grenades and the bullets that flew in there. And actually, I'm not surprised to hear that. Like, Yoad was always that person. He's the greatest and most funny guy that I have met. So I wasn't surprised that he did something like that. And Nael Fawarse, Major Nael Fawarse, and Staff Sergeant Sufyan Darash, they are two fellows from my city. And I decided to honor them because the impact that they left us, it was very hurtful. If you don't know, like, the Druze community is required to serve same as the Jews at Israel. So it's not like it's a common thing to have officers in high ranks and stuff like that in the military. And Sufyan Darash was actually killed at Gaza district at January 2nd, 2024, when he fought against the Hamas terrorists. And Nael Fawarse was killed in combat with Hezbollah in the northern this part of Israel at September 19th, 2024. Both of them fought bravely for the lives of all citizens of Israel. They are two of 13 Druze soldiers that have fallen in this war, Iron Swords War, and of 450 fallen Druze soldiers from the establishment of Israel, of the state of Israel. Their sacrifice shows us the beauty of the people of Israel. Many soldiers come from many different cultures and backgrounds, but they all have something in common, and that is the love for their country and the commitment to keep its people safe from all the evil around us. And I'd like to finish with one of Sufyan's notes from his war notebook that he wrote back in Gaza. He wrote, and I quote, "Today is the third day of maneuver. I started my day by demolishing Hamas structures that they use for terrorist activities. Actually, I really miss home, my family and friends, but we still have work to do, and it's to destroy this terrorist organization to keep my family safe. And I will do everything to do so and get back safe to my family." Unfortunately, after a couple of deployments, he fallen in, as I said, in combat. So pretty much he made Israel a safer place to his family and the people of Israel. And that's it. So thank you so much for having us. That's it.
שיר למעלות, אשא עיניי אל ההרים, מאין יבוא עזרי. עזרי מעם אדוני, עושה שמיים וארץ, אל ייתן למות רגלך, אל ינום שומרך. הנה לא ינום ולא יישן שומר ישראל. אדוני שומרך, אדוני צילך, על יד ימינך. יומם השמש לא יככה, וירח בלילה. אדוני ישמורך מקורא, ישמור את נפשך. אדוני ישמור צאתך ובואך, מעתה ועד עולם. מעתה ועד עולם.
זה נעלם פה. בכל מקרה יש לי. יש לי זה פה. First of all, thank you for letting us speak here in front of you. We don't take that for granted, and we're really honored. So first of all, thank you. I first want to talk about one of my family members. Okay. One of my family members, I want to talk about my uncle. Unfortunately, I never met him. He died back at 67. But his heritage affected a lot on my family, so I want to speak about him a little, and then I'll continue. My name is Dar Vilnei, and I'm going to speak about Chanoch Vilnei, which is my father, my uncle. Chanoch was born in Givat Brenner, a kibbutz, in Israel in the year of 1948. Chanoch was the son of Rachel and Mordechai, my grandparents, and the brother of Nachman, which is my father, Yossi, which is my late uncle, and Amiram, who still lives. Chanoch completed his studies at the Givat Brenner School, worked at the field corps, and was responsible young man and was deeply devoted to his family. He was a pure-hearted guy and upright, and any instance of injustice was wrong or wrongdoing would arouse his anger. Chanoch was a loyal and beloved friend, known for his spirit of volunteerism and willingness to help others, qualities that truly defined his character. Chanoch joined the Nachal Brigade at the year of 1966, and within a year, he was already an officer. Hanoch died at the age of 18 while protecting his country during a training act at the year of 1967. I know it was a long time ago, but like I know all of my family, my uncles were a very tight family. Just imagine if we have another branch of the family. He never got the chance. May his soul be bound in the bond of eternal life. Second, I want to talk about Captain Eden Nimri. Eden Nimri was a squad commander in the Skyrider unit, a UAV unit in the IDF, which fought in the Nahal Oz post on the 7th of October. Eden was born in Tel Aviv at the year of 2000. Eden is the daughter of Sharon and Michael Nimri and the sister of Adar and Noga. Eden Nimri, a talented and spirited young woman from Modi'in Maccabim Reut, excelled in academics, arts, and sports from an early age, particularly in swimming, where she became a national champion. A dedicated and compassionate leader, Eden combined her love for swimming and theater, and she excelled in both. After high school, she chose meaningful path in the Israeli Defense Forces over pursuing a sports scholarship in the US, initially training for the Israeli Air Force before serving as an officer and the team commander in the elite unit, Skyrider, a UAV unit. In October of 2023, during Hamas' brutal attack on Israel, Eden heroically defended her fellow soldiers at the Nahal Oz post, saving many lives at the cost of her own. After she was killed, a few days later, she got promoted to a captain rank. Eden remembered for her determination, kindness, and vibrant spirit. I knew Eden myself. She served in the same branch that I did. She was a special person, very special. She was unique among the others because of her devoted work ethics and the high standards that she did in every way and every job that she did. Eden was just 22 years old. May her soul be bound up in the bond of eternal life. Thank you.
The silver platter. והארץ תשקוט, אין שמיים מודמת. תעמעם לאיתה על גבולות השנים, ואומה תעמוד, קרועת לב אך נושמת, לקבל את הנס, האחד אין שני. היא לטקס תיכון, היא תקום למול סהר, ועמדה טרם יום אותה חג ואומה. אז מנגד יצאו נערה ונער, ואת יצעדו הם אל מול האומה. לובשי חול וחגור וכבדי נעליים, בנתיב יעלו הם. הלוך והחרש לא החליפו בגדם, לא מחו עוד במים, את עקבות יום הפרך וליל קו האש. עייפים עד בלי קץ, נזירים ממרגוע, ונוטפים תללי נעורים עבריים. דום השניים יגשו, ועמדו עד בלי נוע, ואין אות אם חיים הם, או אם ירויים. אז תשאל האומה, שטופת דמע וקסם, ואמרה, מי אתם? והשניים שוקטים, יענו לה, אנחנו מגש הכסף, שעליו לך ניתנה מדינת היהודים. כך יאמרו ונפלו לרגלה, עוטפי צל, והשאר יסופר בתולדות ישראל.
Captain Dekel Suissa. Captain Dekel Suissa was 23 years old, the youngest in his family. Dekel studied at the pre-military academy in Haifa, then attended a gap year in Atlanta with me, under the Jewish Embassy of Israel. A valiant young man from Bar Giora who served as a platoon commander in the Golani Brigade 13 Battalion was killed at the Paga outpost on October 7. When the first RPG hit the post early that morning, Dekel, who was the only officer at the base, instantly became the base commander and had to lead the operation and defense. After more than 4 hours of instant fighting and outnumbered by terrorists, Dekel instructed the Air Force to bomb the position and was killed helping an injured comrade, still fending off and eliminating 5 terrorists as he died. Thanks to Dekel's bravery, most of the soldiers survived and the position did not fall or surrender. The second one is Tomer Golan. Tomer Golan was the brother of my best friend who I grew up with. Tomer born in Rishon LeZion, Israel. He was a gifted young man who dictated kindness, creativity, and warmth. From a young age, he was passionate about art, inspired by Japanese animation, and spent countless hours drawing characters and crafting. He also loved cooking, music, and sharing laughter with his friends and family. In December 24, Tomer enlisted in the Israeli Defense Forces and joined the Artillery Corps. His commanders and friends quickly recognized his leadership. He was later selected for regiment to a combat support unit due to his outstanding potential. Tomer's family and friends remember him as a rare soul. In the words of his sister, my best friend, Shai, it was inspiring to see someone so deeply connected to himself, living his truth without apology. You knew what moved you, what was right for you, and you lived it fully. You were brave enough to open your heart, to be, to feel, and to love with all your being. Tomer was tragically killed on December 29, 2024, in a bus accident while waiting to return to his base. He was 18 years old. Itai and Adar Bardichevsky. Itai, my dad's cousin, grew up in the community of Srigim, where he developed a deep love for sport, basketball, and good food. Adar was born and raised in Kibbutz Kfar Aza. She met Itai during his officer's training course, and together they built their life in her childhood home. On October 7th, during the Hamas attack on Kfar Aza, terrorists stormed their home. Itai and Adar fought bravely to protect their 10-month-old twin babies. Adar's body was found in the kitchen. Her husband, Itai Bardichevsky, was found between the beds of their 10-month-old babies, Roy and Guy, who survived. The attackers used the house as a station between their acts of murder, leaving the babies alive as a bait to lure Israeli forces into a deadly trap. For long hours, the twins lay down in the shelter while battle raged outside. Finally, fighters from the 13th Battalion of Golani Brigade broke into the house, the brigade of Dekel that I talked before about him. There, they found Itai and Adar lifeless, and their 2 silent, innocent babies gazing up of them. One of the rescuers said, "Time seems to stop. I was fleetly wounded and exhausted, and the baby just looked at me, so pure, so whole. It brought tears to my eyes." The twins were rescued by soldiers, led by Lieutenant Colonel Tomer Greenberg, who was himself fell in the battle in Gaza exactly 2 months later, on the day the twins celebrated their first birthday. Thank you.
This year, we are honored to commemorate these community members' loved ones. Elchanan Geva Cohen, father of Eitan Geva, an Ann Arbor community member. Levana Aronson's, Eitan's friend, will read his, Levana will read his commemoration. Master Sergeant in Reserve Ido Aviv Zal was a friend and colleague of Orit Aviran, an Ann Arbor community member who worked diligently to allow this ceremony to take place. Sason Arkash was Galit Levi Dunitz's uncle. Galit is an Ann Arbor community member who participated in this ceremony. Ronnie Ravid was Robin Axelrod's friend and the year course madrich. Robin is a pillar of our community, leading and participating in numerous community activities and keeping our community's tight connections with Israel. Rabbi Avi Goldberg and Elchanan Kalmanzon were both my classmates. Avi in elementary school and Elchanan in high school. Both weren't my besties during our times together, but they were good guys. My mind knew that they both fell in this recent war, but my emotions took a step back until I started preparing for this ceremony. Ido and Sasson will be commemorated by Daniel Orlev. Ronnie, Avi, and Elchanan will be commemorated by Milka Eliav. בבקשה.
So I'm taking the place of Eitan Geva since he's out of town and he asked me to do it. So his father, Elchanan Geva Cohen, was the son of Moshe and Bechorah. He was third generation in the land of Israel, born on the 5th of Iyar, May 8, 1935, in Jerusalem, where he grew up and observed its atmosphere. He completed his studies at a Mizrahi elementary school and later studied at the Amal Vocational High School. He took external matriculation exams. He was the manager of Lath workshop at Solel Boneh in Jerusalem, and his employers noted him as one of the most responsible and dedicated workers. He was enterprising, hardworking, and talented. He served as a member of Workers' Committee for a long time and knew how to fight for his colleagues' rights, but also demanded seriousness and fairness regarding work. One of his hobbies was photography, a profession he learned and practiced during his military service. He also engaged in artistic lath work in his spare time. In February 1953, he was drafted into the IDF and served in the regular army. He participated as a reservist in the Six-Day War, and on the first day of its battles on the 26th of Iyar, June 5th, he was hit by enemy fire while standing guard at mortar position, which had been set up to destroy enemy batteries shelling Jerusalem and to assist IDF forces advancing to liberate the capital. He left behind a wife and a child that barely knows him. He was noted as a disciplined soldier who always cared for his comrades like a father for his sons. He was laid to eternal rest at the military cemetery on Mount Herzl in Jerusalem.
In Psalm 147, we read, Harofe lishvurei lev umchabesh la'atzvotam, healer of the brokenhearted, binder of their wounds. The Kotzker Rebbe taught that there's nothing more whole than a broken heart. Echoed in Leonard Cohen's words, there's a crack in everything. That's how the light gets in. On this Yom Hazikaron, may the light of hope penetrate through the cracks of our broken hearts and the broken hearts of Am Yisrael and all those devastated by the violence of war. Monem ispar lakochavim lekulam shemot yikra. May the light of the stars heal the wounds in our heart. May the light of the stars heal the wounds in our heart. Harofe lishvurei lev umchabesh la'atzvotam monem ispar lakochavim lekulam shemot yikra. May the light of the stars heal the wounds in our heart. May the light of the stars heal the wounds in our heart. May the light of the stars heal the wounds in our heart. May the light of the stars heal the wounds in our heart.
It is an honor to commemorate the following fallen soldiers: Master Sergeant Ido Aviv, Zichrono Livracha. Ido was a bright soul with contagious laughter, amazing spirit, and eternal smile. He worked as a surfing instructor in Kiryat Yam's surfing school. The sea and the children took equal parts of his heart, and he was dedicated to the values of leadership, camaraderie, and excellence. Ido fell in battle in the center of the Gaza Strip during his reserve service as a combat soldier of the Armored Brigade Utzbat Yiftach. He left parents, Amy and Mark, two younger brothers, Niv and Shaked, and his partner, Dasha. Killed at 28 years old, may his memory be a blessing.
Sasson Arkash. Sasson Arkash, born December 24th, 1951, and died June 13, 1982, during combat in Lebanon. He was a gentle and loving son, brother, and an uncle. Sasson was an inspiration for his resilience, courage, generosity, and hard work. He is sorely missed.
Roni Ravid, son of Mary and Yoske. Born in Jerusalem in 1957, he studied at the Arlozorov Elementary School and continued his studies at the Denia High School, where he became a social leader and organized events that earned him a prize. Roni directed and performed plays, skits, and trips around the country, and in his later years led him to train youth in Israel and abroad. Roni was a trainer in Gadna and Young Judea and volunteered for the Civil Guard. During his free time, played basketball, wrote poetry, and documented his life in songs and rhymes. As the one responsible for classifying youth group counselors, he was able to choose people who would represent Israel and admitted thousands who came from countries all over the world to various programs in Israel. And he received all of them who wanted to settle in Israel. In 1985, while serving in reserve duty, he was killed in an operational traffic accident during routine security duties. After his death, his commander wrote, "We will always remember Roni as a cute young man with a bright smile on his face, always willing to help and assist in any assignment." Elchanan Kalmanzon. Elchanan was a charismatic young leader in his high school and a son to a very distinguished rabbi's family. He was not a great scholar. He preferred sports and youth movement activities. Growing up, he enlisted to the Mossad, Israel's national intelligence agency, and served in reserves as a member of his settlement's rapid response squad. On the morning of October 7th, he received messages about the Hamas attack, and together with his brother Menachem, rushed south to lend a hand. They were later joined by their cousin Itiel and formed Team Elchanan, who fought for 16 consecutive hours to rescue civilians trapped in Kibbutz Be'eri. Together, they rescued about 100 people. On the morning of October 8th, at 10:15, he encountered a Hamas terrorist who ambushed behind a corner and was shot. His team members evacuated him, but he was no longer alive. He left behind a widow, Shlomit, and 5 children. May his memory be a blessing. Rabbi Avi Goldberg. Avi was a rascal as a kid and a dedicated educator as an adult. He grew up to be a teacher, teaching at the same high school where he attended, the Himmelfarb High School in Jerusalem. In his military duties, He was a chaplain, but not one of those who stay behind the lines. He would go with his troops to the front, fighting shoulder to shoulder with them. He was married to Rachel. Together they had 8 children, ranging in age from 20 to 4. The whole family would make music together. As his widow commented, "We are both musicians. He played the clarinet, and I play the violin, and 6 or 7 of our children play too."
Once the war in Gaza started, Avi went with his unit. I didn't have him in the house for 250 days, Mrs. Goldberg said. He didn't have to do it. He was 43 years old, and he had 8 children. That meant that he was exempt from being called up, but he felt that he could still contribute, she said. Avi was killed in service in Lebanon on October 26, 2024.
החיטה צומחת שוב, מילים של דורית צמרת. The wheat is growing again by דורית צמרת.
שדות שפוכים החק, מאופק ועד סף, וחרובים וזית וגלבוע, ואל ארבו העמק נאסף, ביופי שעוד לא היה כמוהו. זה לא אותו העמק, זה לא אותו הבית, אתם אינכם ולא תוכלו לשוב. השבילים השדרה ובשמיים עית, אך החיטה צומחת שוב. השבילים השדרה ובשמיים עית, אך החיטה צומחת שוב. מן העפר העיריות עולות, ועל הדשא ילד וכלבו, מוח חדר ויורדים לילות על מה שבו ומה שבליבו. זה לא אותו העמק, זה לא אותו הבית, אתם אינכם ולא תוכלו לשוב. השבילים השדרה ובשמיים עית, אך החיטה צומחת שוב. השבילים השדרה ובשמיים עית, אך החיטה צומחת שוב. וכל מה שהיה אולי יהיה לעד, זרח השמש, שוב השמש בא. עוד השירים שרים, אך איך יוגד כל המחול וכל האהבה. הן זה אותו העמק, הן זה אותו הבית, אבל אתם הן לא תוכלו לשוב. ואיך כך ואיך צומחת שוב. ואיך קורה עדיין שהחיטה צומחת שוב.
Thank you for attending our ceremony. I would like to thank all who worked hard to make this ceremony happen. So many people dedicated time, work, and resources. Everyone are listed in the program, and I hope that no one has been left unnoticed. In light of Israel's traditions, as Memorial Day ends, Independence Day begins. And I invite you all to participate in the upcoming Israeli block party to take place Thursday evening, 5 to 8 p.m. at the JCC. Following Hatikva, we will all join a sing-along. Kol od balevav penima nefesh Yehudi homiya ulfaatei mizrach kadima ayin lezion Sophia עוד לא עבדה תקוותנו התקווה בת שנות 2000